Yeah, so I was writing back and forth to my really good friend Chris. You know Chris Brenham, right?
I do know,
Um,
Chris.
and I couldn't believe it. He's got like such a terrible disease. I don't know when he caught it. It's called OCBD, obsessive compulsive booby disorder. And we all must pray. We must pray for Chris. What, what are you laughing at? It's a true disorder, people. Come on.
Oh, I love that one. That's
It
good.
was
That's
good.
great.
Well, later I'll tell the one about Helen's cat, Mama Helen's cat. But
Oh, God, I
all
haven't
right, give
heard.
me a second.
I love
Good
it.
evening, people, if anybody is on yet.
Hello,
Yeah,
everybody.
don't share quite yet.
No, I shall not.
You
I
know,
shall be waiting for everybody.
we've had such interesting last few days, and we really wanted to come on Sunday.
Yeah,
What is today? Monday, right?
today
Tuesday?
is
I don't even know what
Tuesday.
day today. Right, tomorrow.
Today's
John's
Tuesday.
coming home. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. But Joe, did you look up what I asked? Was there two people found dead in the landing gear of JetBlue here in Florida?
Yeah, they said they found another. I did look that up. Uh,
It's
and then there was another one. I think I saved it. I saved it too because there was like one before in December.
That's what you said, and I was
Yeah,
like,
in late December, a body was found in the wheel of a United airline as it landed after it landed in Maui from Chicago. And in the recent months, has been dealing with unticketed passengers found in cabins. A Russian national who did not have a ticket boarded a Paris-bound Delta Airlines flight. Yeah, but but that one, yeah, there was that like you said.
I called John. Well, I messaged him right away. I'm like, um, what flight are you taking home tomorrow? What airline? Uh, thankfully it's United.
Oh,
Although,
there you
huh?
go. There you go.
I'm just happy with that. Okay, you can share now. My brother from another mother from a different day. Okay. Yeah. It's like 30 something degrees here. So I am wearing a hood.
Very
Um,
frozen.
For
She's
shits and
very
giggles, I
cold.
might take off my hood later to see what my hair looks like, but I could care less, guys. There's some news that I wanted to get out. Joe wanted to talk too.
Yeah.
So, and really sorry to Susan, Joseph, even Mama,
Oh gosh.
all of you wanted to come on. Well, the 13th, we're definitely doing it.
Hi, Joseph.
We'll, oh, good, Joseph is on. We'll try to do it earlier too to get you
Hmm.
guys prepared for Zoom. Either on, we could do it on the 13th too, but we could do it. I mean, we got a week, right? So we could do it
Yes.
beforehand too. Get you guys used to it. Um, and that's going to be 5 o'clock Eastern, right, Joe?
Hmm.
Or do you
Yes.
want?
That'd be okay. That's good for me. I don't, yeah, five, anywhere from 5 to 7
How many more
Eastern.
people could join us around 6 Eastern? I would imagine
Well,
more
let's go
people.
6 Eastern. That's 4 o'clock for me. At four
Right,
o'clock Mountain.
right.
So
And a lot of
five
people would
o'clock
be at
Central.
more people would be out of work because I'm
Hmm.
hoping like at least two extra. There's two other people I'm thinking to come on, and holy shiznit. I'm sitting outside in 37-degree weather, and I'm right by
Hmm.
the lake. It's probably 5 or 10 degrees colder, but I do have 6 layers on. I was counting to myself. I was like, shit. Only me. Only I don't know why. I sit outside.
Only you, my dear.
Only you can make me whatever so much. I'm still trying to remember. Got the whole world in his hands. Trump's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world. I can't remember the the rest of, and usually music sticks. I bet if John Denver was here, he'd know. Wouldn't you, John?
Yeah, yeah, he probably would.
Damn, oh my God, you don't know. I mean, I was a folk person. I'm very strange because you put on Peter, Paul, and Mary, and I love it as much as I would have like Metallica or something or AC/DC. Grunge, I don't know. It's just so very odd.
Oh,
You know, you grow up and you become eclectic. You just like certain sounds and whatnot. There are a couple of things I can never get used to.
do, do,
Your
do.
kids, Joe, they like old-fashioned music.
They did. My kids actually like all kinds of different music.
I know. I like that. You know, it's not all just one
Hmm.
genre. You have to explore. I mean, like a little bit of everything, you know? Um,
Yep, like
I
me.
have
I
to
like
even say,
everything.
like, the closest I ever came to liking rap must have been Eminem back in my early 20s.
Mm.
There was maybe one or two songs I could understand and get down with. Now,
Some of it's I don't like any. I don't like it all. There are some, in every genre there is a song that you can actually get along.
yeah, that's true. I'm not even a classical fan. I just, unless you had to learn it on the piano or guitar or something, it's just not, I don't know. It was boring. I don't understand why people think it's so good. Like, no, not really. I love orchestra and I love like quartets and like I love voices and choruses and harmonies. But when it comes to, I don't know, just not my cup of tea, I suppose. Not putting anybody down that likes it. I like more opera than freaking classical. I mean, even as simple as Phantom of the Opera. Oh man, Phantom of the Opera. I think I saw it like twice. Fantastic. You know, no, I won't give you spoilers, although I don't think Broadway will ever be the same.
Right.
Oh man. Joe asked some pretty interesting questions earlier.
Yeah.
Specifically, well, you go first, Joe. Why don't you
Yeah.
start with some
Well,
news?
I wanted to say that Trump Jr. Landed in Greenland today, right?
Trump
Because
Jr., you mean Don?
yeah, Don Jr. as a sign of Trump's desire to take ownership of Greenland. Actually, that's why he landed
Not
there. That's why he
ownership.
went there.
Who's using the word ownership? Tell me now. Where are you getting this from?
Okay,
Ownership is
from my
not the
article.
word, people. Stop. Stop it right now. Don't let the media put that word into your head. Nobody owns anything. It's God-given,
But
right?
that's what the article said. So
Yeah,
I,
who? I'm just asking who. So I can like yell at them. Really. Um, there are reasons that now if conspiracists see it the way I see it, they'll understand what's going on because they already, oh look, I'll do the
okay. Well,
robot.
let me
Do
finish
it, do
this
it, do
first
it,
real quick.
do it. Go
So,
on.
okay, but he did. That's what they're saying that he landed there for. So the Danish king responds, "We are all united and each of us committed for the kingdom of Denmark." Okay.
Kingdom.
So as of January 1st, he gave the Danish territories Greenland, the bear, which is the polar bear, and Faroe Islands, the ram, their own spot on the coat of arms. That's what he did. He changed. See, there's like on the coat of arms, there's like
Yeah,
a spot on it where there's a cross, and
yeah,
then there's a square here, square here. They're the bears on the bottom, and the ram is on top, I believe. And then there's something in the other corners. I can't remember what those stood for. It didn't really elaborate too much on it, but that's what he did for the coat of arms in response to Trump Jr. and President Trump saying that he wants to acquire Greenland. Now, I asked you, what is so what is so important about Greenland? What is it? What's there? I mean, like we all know, the people there are impoverished and they need it.
Right, they are oppressed. They've
They're
been
oppressed.
occupied by Denmark, which is a fucking monarchy. These places, especially the
Hmm.
tight ones. Denmark isn't that big. The Danes are just, they're just a group of
Hmm.
quacky people, and they destroyed their nation. The whole of the Scandinavia, it's just all messed up with that inbred um monarchy just surviving on stupidity, thinking that certain things will allow them to get back into control.
Yeah.
As like where everybody thinks like, oh, these nations are dying, they're letting in too many Muslims and stuff. That's what they wanted. That's what they wanted. They don't care what you are as long as you're their slaves. You understand,
Yeah.
people? Has nothing to do with race to them. You're either part of them or you're not,
Right.
right? Okay, so they control this stupid little island. It's very strange that Iceland is normally warm and Greenland is cold. I
Right.
wonder where that actually comes from. But there's a couple of things. All right, we got Alaska, the Antarctic, the North Pole, Canada, Greenland. Joe, what do all these places have in common?
To the north,
They're cold.
they're cold.
Now, things get preserved in the cold. I wonder what's underneath all that ice, right? Like in Siberia. Like what's underneath it all, right? We've gone down miles, so they said. But we have like people like General Byrd, who I'll probably get into a little later, who was suspiciously killed when he was offered to go on his sixth journey back to the Antarctic. There's a
Mm.
few things other than maybe fossil fuels of some sorts. I don't mean real fossil fuels. I don't believe in fossil fuels. Not to their extent. Not the way they explain it, right? Um, but I do believe in natural preserves. And let's do this. Let's do this. I hate to start this now, but Joe, we were talking about it before. What animals seem to live in these cold areas?
Whales for one,
Whales,
seals,
seals, right?
penguins.
Right. You know what they all have in common?
Mm.
They all have thick blubber.
Yes.
Because even whales, they could go to 40 degrees, even 32 degrees,
Mhm.
but they have to do something where their blood uh, coats their outer layer if they're in like the Antarctic and such. Now, in all these places mentioned, there are different types of whales. Now, blubber, fat, is what? When it's a chemical, when it's in liquid form, it's an oil. They even make oh, I don't remember the name of it. There's a some one of you guys will know. There's a part of the terrible scent of the whale. It's like a terrible scent, but it makes most perfumes. I'm just wondering what Trump knows that he wants Canada, he wants Greenland, and don't get me wrong, he's gonna go south too. He's gonna go
Well,
from Mexico,
hey,
uh,
Joseph
Central.
says Joseph says it's a military strategy against Russia. He said in an interview last
Well,
week.
yeah, sure, we want to believe that.
Yeah.
And that's fine to believe. But if you understood the conspiracists, Joseph,
Hmm.
um, what Trump, what we expected to happen is happening.
Right.
Just, it's just said a little
Well,
different.
yeah.
Canada becoming the 51st state, making a deal with Mexico, building this wall. Why would, let me ask you, maybe we wouldn't have to build a fucking wall if our Constitution was umbrellaed over to Mexico, over to Central America, over to South America, over our shoulder to Canada,
Mhm.
and to Greenland. Now what happens? This is what we actually expected, guys. The conspiracists such as myself have known this for years. Even Patch and I used to discuss it. Patch used to say there's the second coming of the Constitution. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. Who
Hmm.
created this and why? I don't have to watch it. I know. There has to be upgrades because not that the Constitution, everything in the Constitution is fine, but there has to be first, the amendments are not. A lot of them are redundant and disgusting and not even worth our time regurgitating. But there's other stuff like the right to bear arms. People don't read like that. They should, but they don't read like that anymore. But arms, now is going to mean lasers, drones with bullets and shit like that. And it has been, that's been around for decades. Don't be fooled.
Yeah.
We're going to take all these places and just have it under one beautiful constitution. Think about it. Think about it. It's that's a utopia. And then how safe is America with all that around us, as you say, Joseph, right? But then they have our arms too. We have people all over,
It's
different units of countries.
yeah.
And where is that known? Oh my God, I'm going to get it wrong. It's ComCent, CENTCOM. Fudge me. CENTCOM has the fort, ironically or serendipitously wise, 47 countries. Isn't that a weird number? That belong there to CENTCOM. I'm going to say it right. I think it's CENTCOM. I don't know why I always get it confused. And they already know because they're part of the good military that has been around from before Trump got in office, before 2012. There was like a lot of hints. I was even watching Futurama the other day, and
Contact.
they're in the 3000s, and they're like, they have like suicide booths. It looks like a phone box, the old phone. You put a quarter in and you make a phone call, but it's a suicide booth. And they said it's been around since 2008. Why would they say that? Who was around in 2008, Joseph? Obama, right?
Yeah.
It's just, there are no coincidences. No coincidences. All right, what's next? And the other thing is Star Trek's certain shows tried to give us hints. And Star Trek 4, right? It was 4.
Hmm.
Was it
They tried to save the whale.
yeah,
Star Trek 4, right?
what was it?
So
Voyage Home?
yeah, the
Front,
voyage home.
Frontier was 5. Okay, so Voyage Home. I always
The
forget
final
which one
frontier
my
was number 5. That was in '89.
so because my uncle Len at the time, he did one of the Star Treks. I can't remember because I know he was good friends with Leonard Nimoy, and I can't remember which one. It
Hmm.
was probably 5 because I liked the one with the whales when I was a kid. That's and isn't that ironic? Leave it to be in my life. And guys, I could prove this shit to you. And I hope I don't have to. I hope you trust me. But I even have letters, or at least one I had. He had letters from, oh my God, Yul Brenner, all the old time, John Wayne, uh, who's a Clint Eastwood. Like he had letters from all of them. He was good friends with a lot of them. So funny. Small world, ain't it?
Hmm. Yeah, it
Um,
is.
it really is. Oh, it's pending. Shoot. All right, what's up? What's next? What was the other thing? There
The
was
next thing
another
up.
thing.
Zuckerberg getting rid of his fact checkers because they hurt the community more than they help. He wants to reduce mistakes and simplify their policies. That's what he said. He wants, they're trying to restore free speech and expression to their platform, but they will have community notes. So it's like a new chapter, in Facebook. He's trying to
How does he,
right
how did,
the wrong that
I'm
he
sorry.
did.
Yeah, can you exactly say, how was it? How did they say it? It matters to me how things are said. How did they say it? They want to, what was the first sentence like? It makes a difference.
They hurt the community more than they help.
No, no, no. The first sentence, like, what are they, the headline say? What's the
Oh,
headline say?
Zuckerberg getting rid of the fact checkers.
Fact checkers.
Fact
Fact
checkers.
checkers.
Yeah.
Not meta.
Nope. Yeah,
Uh,
Meta getting rid of the fact checkers.
what?
Meta getting rid of the fact
Is
checkers.
that what he's, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
What does it say
yeah.
exactly? I need to know what it says exactly, please.
It says Meta.
It says Meta getting rid of fact
Mm-hmm.
checkers.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're not getting rid of fact checkers. All right, let's not get confused.
Well, it just says Zuckerberg is dumping. Meta is ending the fact checkers. Meta is ending its fact checking program and lifting restrictions on speech to restore free expression across Facebook, Instagram, and Meta platforms,
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
admitting its content moderation practices have gone too far.
Yeah. Well, of course
And
they're
he
going to say
said,
all this
well,
as
he
soon as
admitted he admitted that the fact checkers were largely due to political pressure.
and we all know who he is.
Yes, we did. Yes, he's the grandson of Soros, right?
You know,
Yeah, I think we
you know
figured
what else
that.
is kind of ironic? Yeah, he is. He is the
Hmm.
grandson. He's related to Soros. And if you don't believe in clones, well, tough, because I believe
Hmm.
he is one. He's not like his real kid. He is Soros as a clone. I was talking about Candy Crush and Sugar Mountain because that's what Zuckerberg means. Now, these words can mean like cocaine, right? It could be
Hmm.
drugs, sugar mountain, white cocaine, right? What if it also means like snowy areas? A berg, like the Titanic, right? Because that's Zuckerberg Berg.
Right.
Berg is probably
Zucker,
Jewish. It might be Jewish
Zucker.
and German,
Yeah.
which is odd, but it means mountain.
Mhm.
So a mountain of something that looks sugary could be snow too, right? That's another thing they call Coke sometimes, snow blow, right? I'm just putting it out there. There are no coincidences, that's for sure.
Yep.
Now, the meta companies, there's Instagram, the WhatsApp, uh, the Oculus does it. That's what my sister had, Oculus VR. Damn, guys, that's freaky shit. And that's out years ago already. And if you've never done anything virtual reality, you are in for a surprise. I don't know how else to put it. Let's see, there's Reality Labs. What else? Reels, Threads. I don't know. Now, the whole meta system, right, is like kind of like the AI taking over for people's jobs, which is a stupid job to begin with. Oh, I'm going to cut out your freedom of speech on this platform, even though you belong to us since 2012. It's 2016 now, so everything's different. Well, now they have Meta doing it, but apparently easing up on all the actual confining of our freedoms, which might be excellent. We'll see. It's done by a computer, but don't tell me the bad guys did this. Did the bad guys do this? Did Zuckerberg really have a change of heart? Like he didn't know in his mid-20s what he was doing to people all over the world? And who really believes it was Zuckerhead and to begin with? I don't. I sure don't.
There was a time when he looked really ghostly, really pasty looking.
Yeah,
Now all of a
clone.
sudden he looks
He's a
normal.
clone.
Come on, man. Something's
Yeah,
wrong with
that's a
that
different
dude.
person.
Right.
They went from clones to clones. I really believe clones exist. Well, I know they do. You can Google it. I mean, if you could clone Dolly the sheep, and before that in England they cloned, right? The monarchies, the oligarchies, these freaking disgusting fascist places. And they had their big foot in Canada, and Canada's so big and so dense a population, they could go anywhere. And guess what? They do. They have a lot of facilities in Canada. It might be good for cold. Maybe they work better in the cold too. Who the hell knows? I think I'm on to something with those whales, though. Not, they're very intelligent too. They're just very intelligent creatures.
They are.
And you got like the humpback, you got the sperm whale, you got the orca.
You got the
You
blue,
got the Belgian whale, I think,
the Belgian, Beluga,
right? A beluga whale.
hmm
And
narwhal. You got the
and
narwhal.
they all can survive in the absolute cold. It's
hmm
interesting, isn't it? What
hmm
happens to the bones and blubber when they get iced up? And we looked up, right? There's the Bay of Whales in Antarctica itself. There is the Bay of Whales. They were
hmm
afraid it was going, that's where the whales seem to just have fun. It's a place where they have fun. And it almost got destroyed from a couple of how it came to be a bay by the icebergs and ice floors breaking,
Moving
collapsing.
together, the shells moving
Yeah, like
together,
like templates,
brushing up
like
against each other.
the
Yeah.
continent, yes. But it has survived, and that's where they play. Who knows why? There's also a Roosevelt Island there.
Yeah.
We have a Roosevelt Island in New York. A lot of people don't realize this. You can take, there's one train that I remember that goes there because it's over its own bridge in New York City, guys. So you can either take the train or the zip line, what do they call them? God, the mobile things on the zip lines, a bus on a line. The little not a monorail.
Trolleys? Trolley?
Yeah, but it's held by up top. Oh,
Is
come
that a
on.
trolley? No.
No, they're not called trolleys. I don't know.
I don't know. You have those in New York?
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I've never
People
seen
don't know
those.
what the fuck. Yes, it's been there forever. I
I've
went to
never.
Roosevelt
Yeah.
Island a couple of times. My girlfriend grew up there. And Grandpa from the Adams family, was it Adams or yeah, it was Adam. Was it the Adams family? No, it was the one
Uncle
that smoked the
Fester?
cigar.
Oh, that's yeah. Uh,
Was it Adams family?
no,
No,
that
it's
with the cigar, yeah. That
it was Grandpa. He played Grandpa.
that's Frankenstein, right? Wait a minute, Grandpa.
Oh,
Let
you.
me look. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Let me look.
Can I
Grandpa.
make fun of you now? Is it my resolution?
No,
He owned a restaurant there, and he was a real nasty bitch. I know a couple of people
Grandpa.
that met him and said he was just, what are you looking at? Like that kind of shit.
The Munsters.
The Munsters, thank you. Um, zip line. Is it a zip? What the fuck is it called? The trolley that's hanging on a. They use it a lot in snowy areas.
The trolley that hangs on a line.
There you go. I can't think of the word.
A zip line trolley, a rail trolley,
Rail. Yeah. I can't think of the word they use though. Rail trolley. No, it's not right.
train car, railroad car.
I think I would call it a zip line, but um. Well, now they call it a zip line, but this is a zip line with the car on it, right? It's very bizarre. I mean, it's just
The
bizarre.
tram.
Thank you, a tram. Oh my God, it escaped me. Sorry, guys.
God,
Yeah, how many of you
how
knew that?
stupid I am. Because we have the longest tram in the
I
United
know you
States.
did. That's why I couldn't believe you couldn't, but I wasn't going to say anything. I
What
knew
an
you,
idiot.
I knew
I'm
you had.
sorry.
Yeah, but you knew what I was talking about because you were
I
like, you have
do
those
now.
in
I
New
couldn't
York.
figure out what the heck you were talking about. I swear, I'm so sorry. I felt
Yeah.
dumb.
I mean, the last time I was there was like 16, so it's
Yeah,
going on, and it was there then. They always had it. And then they had the train put on over it next. So it was a very private island until it probably needed money. Very expensive to live. So there's that, guys. Just telling you.
a
They love
ferry.
the water,
Hey,
don't they? They
who?
love the water. And you know what the freshest water is? It's actually better to freeze water
Cold
than to
water,
boil it.
fresher water. Yeah, cold,
So they
ice
got the
cold water is
freshest water
fresher
in
water.
Antarctica.
That's right.
What
You're
did
right.
they do to that bird? General Richard Byrd. Okay, this is pretty odd. I believe he went to Antarctica about 5 times, and the sixth time, he wasn't that old. He died of some kind of heart attack. We've heard this before with other people dying
Hmm.
of heart attacks, right? I mean, the first or second time he came back, they had a ticket day parade for him. He was so loved because of all his polar expeditions, right?
Right.
He took tons of photography and documentary of the ice walls and all these places. Um, they studied underneath, they studied optimal gear, like what they could wear and stuff. He definitely went there about 5 times, but you know what struck me as odd? You wouldn't imagine what when the first time was that this general went to the Antarctic. I couldn't believe this. It's exactly after 1 month, 1 month after the stock crash. How, do you understand what I'm saying here? October 1929, when the whole world went broke because of the Rockefellers,
Hmm.
right? Because it was the, I believe that was the Rockefellers. It could have been the Rothschilds. I'm not sure, but one of them absolutely caused it on their own. Their family caused the stock market crash of 1929. November 29th, exactly 1 month later. How do I know? Because my birthday happens to be October 29th. No coincidences, right? So October 29th, stock crashes. November 29th, guy sets for sale to the Antarctic. What? How expensive was that?
Very, 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 very expensive. But obviously, money didn't count matter to them back
Well,
then,
no, it's just
or to the
proving
rich
that
people.
things were never right,
Right.
right? And then he goes 5 times. He definitely figures something out. He figured some things out. He probably had it in his captain's logs or journals or whatever. And then they kill him because I think it was like only 67. He was ready to go on his six-step expedition. I believe there are things there. They talk about the ice wall back then. Um, I don't see why that, because they also talk about it being named something, but it actually in another language just means a mountain of ice. So the flat earthers have a little explaining to do, and it is a geologic term that I can't remember right now. All right, what's next?
Oh, what do we have next? There's a fire in LA at the fire in the Palisades. That's a real wealthy area in
Yeah,
LA.
it's a wealthy area here too. We have
30,000 people have been evacuated.
holy
Fire is still
shit.
out of control because of the Santa Ana winds. All the fire department, even the ones off duty, have been called back to work.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bad fire.
Um, we've been having very strange fires all over the place. See, okay, let's kind of go in order here. We had train derailments,
Hmm.
right? Then we had, and a lot of that caused poisoning and other things, not just deaths on the train, right? We had the
Right.
waters of Ohio, and they had chemical reaction. They had to get the hell out. We had hurricanes and tornadoes
Weird,
beyond, like
weird ones.
hundreds of them in certain places that rarely get like one or two a year.
Right.
Um, our weather has been nutty all over. It's been nutty. Then we've had these fires hit specific places like Maui and, you know, California, Canada, certain places been hit. Is it the good guys? Is it the good guys doing it? Well, I remember saying
Who knows?
there was a fire. Remember they had to evacuate. It was by Dick Van Dyke's house. I can't remember where exactly it was in California. But I remember thinking that maybe they have to get rid of this shit because people can't be healthy with these fumes under land. And possibly the only way to take them out, especially in hot places like California, would be to burn them. Now, do people get hurt and stuff? I don't know. I don't know. Um, if this is a 50-year plan, 100-year plan, 60, 70, whatever you want to think of it as, or you think it's from 2016, fine. You can have people living in that area, having people move out, giving them good prices, and having actors and military move in there. And they know when it's going to go down. 30,000 people are a lot. But I think it's easy to get 1,500, 2,000, 5,000 military members to live in certain areas. I really don't find this impossible. Do the average person get hurt? Yes, sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes, yeah. Do they intend it? Of course not.
Fortunately.
They're trying to do World War III without anybody getting hurt. But there are casualties of war, you know? It's very interesting, Joe. I like that. Let me see. Are you reading the chat by any chance?
Yeah, Helen's talking to Joseph's talking.
Gawk.
All manipulated. Think blue. All about the Benjamins. Yeah, maybe. It's always all about money. That's always. You know what I always wondered was that when they did have the stock market crash and there was all that
Cable car.
poverty going on, why was it always the why was there's so many poor people, but the rich people still had money?
Because they were all inbred.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I found? I found that picture of that.
and I have
Didn't I find that picture? And this one says it's 1907. I thought 1909 or 1912. You read it was later.
I thought it was earlier, actually. Yeah, later. Yeah, it did.
It's the same picture. I mean,
Yeah,
this
it is.
I have not watched this yet. I mean, I stopped at this because this is just crazy. I can't believe this actually. And look, Joe, that's smoke.
Yeah,
There
that
ain't
is
no
smoke.
tree that does that. So
That
there
is
is
smoke.
something back there.
Yep.
It's not on top of the monument, the memorial. It's over here. I love these things, guys.
Are we looking at The front of the memorial?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like yeah. I wanted to show here. This is going to be interesting to go through.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
I already have tons of them. But somebody else did nice bit of work and put them on uh a video itself. Hollywood Uncovered. 20 celebrities, huh? Let's see. I want to see just a couple of them. I know. Oh, I can't share. You see, Joe? This is why you should have taken host. You should have kept host.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Thank you, Zoom. They don't like us. There can't be that much left. They can't, I mean, it's really low programming if there's anything left. Um, I mean, come on, even Zuckerberg's like, well, I'm gonna leave it up to Meta. Then there's also Grok. People are afraid of Grok. You know what Grok is, Joe?
What is Grok?
What is Grok? I don't know.
Rock?
It's
Rock
something
or Croc?
Grok.
Rock.
Okay, so I think it's
I don't know.
if I understand it correctly, people actually think it's going to take over. They're going to rate us. It's going to rate us on X, which I could give two shits about X. I like Elon Musk. I don't care for the fucking platform. It is stupid to take a platform and I mean, it's good to take it and do what you got to do with it, but to change it and try to make it into something else, no, you should have started all over, sweetheart. Any artist would have told you that. Avant-garde, get rid of that crap, close it down, restart it beautifully. I'm sure you could afford tons of web devs, dev webs, whatever they call them, right? So let me see if I have it because I thought it was interesting. I had to look it up because I've never heard of it myself. Oh, blowhole whales. Um, I know I have it somewhere. Grok is a great way to uh parse unstructured log data into something structured and queryable. This tool is perfect for Scilog logs, Apache and other web server logs, MySQL logs, and in general, any log format that is generally written for humans and not computer consumption. Um, so he's creating something to judge us, but it's not taking away your freedom of speech or anything like that. It's for humans, not for the AI. Or I know it's difficult, right?
Yeah, it is. Oh,
Um,
wow, sometimes it just don't make sense to some of it.
okay. You know what a good example is? Anybody who owns a YouTube channel. Now they offer, remember, Joe, I even showed it to you, inspiration. So it's this whole AI generated inspiration thing, but it's for humans to use. So if he's doing that, then X might get more creative. People could do what I'm doing much more easier, without think because the AI, the machinery does it itself, basically. Now, a lot of people are afraid of this and stuff, and I say, no, no, um, let the computers work and let people rejoice with life and their kids and their wives and their husbands and their aunts and uncles and fathers and mothers and let them live life like God intended us to, not being burdened paying taxes and living in hell basically to support 13 major families, which By the way, I don't I'm going to say it's a fact in my life that there are more than 13. It doesn't make sense. Um, that's just something for us to they gave it out. They fed us all the information, the beginning information, just like they did for Women's Lib, right? What we watched that the other day, which is funny because Charles brought up that he died not too long after he was a producer and whatnot. That I can't remember the guy's name, but he we watched him. He talked about Women's Lib and the that the Rothschilds said that they put it out so we could tax more than half of the society. And he died a couple of years or a year later. It was pretty close after that interview. And I just said, like Stanley Kubrick, he gave too much away. These are little bits of proof, guys. I mean, like Q says, how many coincidences until it's mathematically impossible? In my life, forget about it. The stock crash happened to be on my birthday. You know what else was on? Sandy was on my birthday.
A lot
And
of things
I,
happening in October for some odd reason.
October surprise.
Yeah, guess so.
We got to stop that nonsense. It's all nonsense. Every day should be a loving, beautiful day for everybody, every part of humanity, everybody, everywhere. Nobody should suffer. We should help each other. We should be that collective. We should be
Agree with
strong.
that.
Yes. And if you don't like it, go live in some freaking disgusting island off the coast of Venezuela. No, no, don't even be there because that's going to be constitutional soon. It's going to be, see, the other part of the constitutional thing is that Trump has half the world, and then Putin's going to give Europe another constitution, very similar to ours. Um, just, because the writing is different, probably.
Yeah,
Not going to be in English, probably, right?
right. Be in
Well,
all
it's going to be
it'll be
transferred
in
in
all
all of them.
languages.
So Putin's going to have Europe and I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be more for Asia or that he's going to take that part. But we see where Trump's headed, and I totally believe it. I mean, look at how he's talking, 51 states. And in his little note the other day, he didn't disclaim it at all about Canada. And now Don Jr. stepping foot in Greenland. Come on, people. The conspiracies are no longer
I
conspiracies.
know, but see here, but Canada's too big to be one state.
That's just a
You got
way to get
three
people to
states.
understand that it's going to be the same constitution instead of under the British monarch.
Right.
Right? We want them to have their freedom.
Yeah.
Taxes go down, but it's a plus for us too because now we have more resources. We have even more military.
Yeah.
We have it's just our
Actually, freer movement,
Constitution. What? Yes,
freer movement.
right. We
Uh,
could go to Canada on the same. We don't need a
yeah.
visa to
Uh,
go to Mexico or take a holiday in Chile.
they'll be the same as here. Yeah.
Exactly. How beautiful a thing. And people is going to be recognized by their faces. Fuck pulling Baron Trump over, stopping him from his flight. Are you serious, people? The most well-known kid in the fucking universe. Are you kidding me? You see how much of a joke it is, though? And even if he was flying alone, there was somebody there with him. There was. They
Yeah.
don't leave him alone.
No, never.
Again, watch a fucking episode of West Wing once in a while. Because it was very true. It was very true to nature.
Yeah.
A lot of it, except for like all the really good stuff. Except all the Martin Sheen stuff. Rob Lowe, I think, is a good guy. I think he's one of the good guys. We're gonna find out. Um, that's one thing I think we should go through on the 13th. Because right now I have please I have a meme war up. I got 6 or 7 good answers. There is a nice prize, and I'm not going to say what it is, but there's a really nice prize for the top winner. I am not going to judge. Joe is not going to judge. Mama Helen is not going to judge. I am going to have one of my admins from my groups judge, probably Noah and John, or maybe even Joanne. I want, I'll get a couple of people to judge. They look at it, so we have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Um,
We cool.
one person to qualify. That's all we're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Just one.
just
Only
one
one.
pick for you
Only
guys.
one.
Cause
No
like
more.
my brother Chris out there, he's like, well, The View, and though The View is a good answer. I think
Yeah.
Ken said The View, but Chris said something else like that, like all that have ever been on Epstein Island, and I'm like, it's a great answer, but I want you guys to win the prize because it's a pretty good prize.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Do you have anything else,
I
Joseph?
do not have anything else for tonight. You run me dry.
Good night, Mama Helen.
Run me dry, my
Al
friend.
Lewis was Grandpa in the Munsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, oh, I wanted to go over something else, but no. You know, one other thing and then we'll get off because I am freezing.
Yes, I know you are. We stayed up an hour, so
Get out, really?
almost. It's not quite. Almost. Yeah, almost. Pretty close.
It's 37 degrees and it's probably back here, it's probably like 30, but I still have
Mm,
my blanket on. I got my other I got 2 blankets out here now.
yeah. Hey, you
I
lasted
hope
pretty
it's
good out
good.
there in that frozen tundra out there. That
It's pretty
frozen
bad for
tundra
Florida.
of Florida.
I don't mind when it's like this at night, but when it's like 10, 11 o'clock and that sun isn't hitting 60 degrees at least, it's like, why, Florida? Why? Um, my father used to tell me a few stories, and he was born in 1935 and very traditional, born in Manhattan. So I like to tell stories that he talks about once in a while. I don't know where this came from or if it's a book, but I unfortunately I really wanted to do it to Dad. I really did. But I couldn't because I lived in Florida, and you'll understand in a second. There's a story that the father is passing away, and he's in the hospital, and his daughter is in tears. She just can't accept that the father is passing away slowly, rotting in this hospital and stuff. And she'd go there every night, and she'd read to him. About a year and a half, 2 years pass. And this man should have been dead. He should have died. He had such severe illness. He should have passed within a week or two. But he survived a year and a half, 2 years later. So the doctors and nurses are, in awe. They don't know what to do or who to ask. So they decide to go to the daughter. Well, you come visiting every night. You haven't missed a night in almost 600 days, 700 days. What is it something you're doing? Are you giving him something? And she said, well, my father always liked a good story. And every night I write a little bit of a story to tell him, but I never end it. I never end the story. So he has to stay alive to know the rest of it the next day.
Ah, interesting. That's pretty neat.
I
I
never
love it. I
forgot. I
love it.
have no idea where he got it from.
I
For all I
love
know,
it.
he could have made it up himself. But I'll tell you something. Like I said earlier, I really wanted to do it to my father. Um, but I didn't live there anymore. It was very difficult. We started a life here. We had just bought a condo. We bought this condo when he was in the hospital. So At least he knew we were safe and we had our own place and everything. He loved John too. But Dad, I'll never forget some of the wisest tales. And there's more to come. I'll tell you, there's more to come. But I guess for now, we'll say goodnight. I hope you enjoyed.
It was fun.
Well, let's see.
Good night, guys.
It's not that bad. Like I said, I look like a fucking hairband. Love you guys.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
See you next time.
Oh, I forgot to tell him what an asshole you are.